You ever have one of those mornings where you walk into the shop, the air smells like cedar, and you feel like a genius?
Knowing you, Tiger, that usually lasts about 5 minutes until you realize you left your square at the hardware store 40 miles away.
Hey, 35 miles, let's be fair. But no, today I was thinking about the bridge between the old and the new. We're talking 3D printers that swap heads like a pit crew, and guys like Ian Schwant, who are turning construction sites into Swiss watches. Welcome to the TigerDen.
I like that. High tech meets high grit. And speaking of tech, you've been hovering over the 3D printer lately like it's a slow cooker full of chili. What's the obsession this week?
Creality is doing something that's actually making me pull my safety glasses down to get a better look. They're playing with this Clytek tool changer. Most hobbyist printers are like a kid with one crayon. If they want to change colors, they have to spit out a giant blob of plastic poop to clear the nozzle. It's wasteful, and it takes forever.
So this new one, it's got a whole box of crayons?
Exactly, it's a mechanical handoff. One head parks, another one grabs the torch. It's the difference between painting a mural with one brush you have to wash every 10 seconds and having a dedicated brush for every color. It's professional grade efficiency landing on a hobbyist desk.
Okay, I can see the appeal for the no-waste crowd, but does it actually change what we can make? Or is it just a faster way to make plastic trinkets?
It's about the marriage of materials, Alex. Imagine printing a rigid tool handle, but having the printer swap to a soft, rubberized grip in the same pass. Prusament just dropped this Galaxy Black TPU. It's flexible, tough as transition-grade tires, but it's got this glitter finish that looks like a tuxedo.
A tuxedo for a gasket? Only you would find that romantic.
If I'm making custom interior grips for a vintage truck, I don't want them looking like a melted Lego. I want them to look like they belong there. And Prusa is even doing this color mix shading now through a web app. You can blend filaments to get these gradients that look like a sunset on a custom bowl. It's shifting the maker label from guy with a gadget to digital craftsman.
I'm glad you mentioned that shift, because the digital craftsman isn't just in the workshop. You saw that piece on Ian Schwant in Fine Home Building?
Oh, Ian is the real deal. He's a production manager, and that's a title that doesn't get enough love in the trades. Everyone wants to be the guy swinging the 22-ounce framing hammer, but Ian is the guy making sure the hammer swinger actually has lumber to hit.
It's the new guard, right? He's not just managing wood and nails, he's managing the system.
I've spent more hours than I care to admit standing on a job site because the plumber and the electrician showed up at the same time and tried to occupy the same square foot of space. It's like watching two cats try to share one saucer of milk. Lots of hissing and no work gets done.
And that's what Ian is fixing. He's making the trade sustainable. If you're a young builder listening to this, pay attention. Tiger, you always say that the hammer is the easy part.
It is. Any kid with a steady hand can drive a nail eventually. But understanding the why of the schedule, that's where the money is. If you can walk onto a site and see the 3 things that are going to go wrong next Tuesday, you aren't an apprentice anymore. You're the boss. You're building the environment, not just the house.
Speaking of being the boss, let's pivot to the maker moguls. Not everyone wants to run a construction crew. Some people just want to sell the cool stuff they make on their bench.
And that's where most people trip over their own feet. They think they're selling a thing. You aren't selling a thing. You're selling the fact that you stayed up until 2 a.m. figuring out how to make that specific shade of TPU work with a walnut inlay.
You're saying they should sell the struggle?
Not the struggle, the narrative. If you're using that Prusa color mix tech we talked about, don't just post a photo of the finished product. Show the 12 failed attempts where the colors look like mud. Show the behind the design.
I see it all the time on social media. People act like the finished product just materialized out of thin air. It feels, I don't know, dishonest?
It's clinical, and clinical doesn't sell. If you tell me, I spent 40 hours tuning this machine to get this specific shimmer, I'm not just buying a handle, I'm buying your obsession. Transparency is the only currency that doesn't devalue these days. Take 60 seconds, record a video of a mistake you fixed, and watch your customers turn into a community.
Maybe I should record a video of you trying to find your square. That'd get 1 million views.
We'd need a feature-length documentary for that.
Okay, let's get into the DIY mastery section, because I know you have feelings about the furniture people are working on this weekend. The trestle breakfast table?
Mark Spagnuolo, the wood whisperer. The man is a treasure. He's previewing a new guild course on trestle tables. Now, for the uninitiated, a trestle table is essentially a masterclass in not letting your furniture wobble like a jelly-legged newborn deer.
It's all about the joinery, right?
It's about the physics of staying put. You've got these massive legs and a central stretcher that's basically the backbone of the piece. If you screw up the mortise and tenon on a trestle, you aren't making a table. You're making a very expensive seesaw. It's a great challenge because it forces you to be precise. You can't hide a gap in a trestle joint with a bit of sawdust and hope.
I saw that the Maker channel also put out a list of 55 tools on Amazon that actually work. I'm always skeptical of those lists. Half the time it feels like they're just trying to sell me a tactical spatula.
A tactical spatula, don't give them ideas. But look, I've bought the bargain squares that were about as square as a circle, but there's a sweet spot. There are these little precision triangles and sanding blocks that don't cost a fortune but save you from that slow, grinding frustration that makes people quit the hobby.
What's the one tool on that list you'd actually put your name behind?
Honestly, a good set of setup blocks, they're just little metal squares of specific thicknesses. Instead of squinting at a tape measure like you're trying to read a palm print, you just drop the block in and boom, your blade is exactly half an inch high. It's about removing the guesswork.
Speaking of removing guesswork, you mentioned something about the workplace revolution earlier. Something about a workbench?
A lot of guys are out there trying to build heirlooms on top of a plastic folding table from a big box store. It's like trying to perform heart surgery on a trampoline.
That sounds dangerous and bouncy.
It's infuriating. Your workbench is the foundation of your skill. If the table moves, your cut moves. If your cut moves, your project is ruined. I saw this video recently where a builder finally finished his heavy-duty bench. We're talking 300 pounds of solid wood. And the moment he took that first shaving with a hand plane, that look on his face,
Pure satisfaction?
it was peace. The bench didn't groan, it didn't slide, it just was. It's the most important tool you'll ever own because it's the one that lets all your other tools do their jobs correctly. If you've got a free weekend, stop looking at the table you want to build and start building the bench that's going to hold it.
I think that's a good place to wrap for today. We've covered everything from black tie 3D printing to the philosophy of the new guard in the trades.
It's all the same thing, really, whether it's a nozzle path on a Creality or a production schedule on a job site. It's about control. It's about taking the chaos of raw materials and making them behave.
And maybe finding your square before you start?
Let's not get carried away. I need at least one reason to drive to the hardware store for a coffee.
Fair enough. For everyone listening, if you're ready to level up, whether that's switching careers into the trades or finally launching that maker business, check the show notes. We've got links to Ian's story, the tool lists, and the Wood Whisperer's trestle course.
Don't just listen to us talk about it. Go out there and make a mess. You can't clean up a project you never started. Stay gritty, folks. We'll see you in the den.